Hey, the toy collectible fans, Fly Guy for TekSushi.com, giving you a look at one of the figures that's in the pack of the West Coast Avengers. This is a pack which came out pretty recently, has had quite a bit of hype. There's two kind of packs that have came out, but this one, the West Coast Avengers, had this War Machine inside the pack, and being a bit of an Iron Man and a War Machine nut, I could not say no. Very cool figure, one which has been released before in a comic pack version, and I'll show you that in just a sec. But the pack itself, the West Coast Avengers pack, so 3 Marvel Universe figures inside it, comes with Mockingbird and a kind of repainted version of Hawkeye, which you've probably seen in the Marvel Universe collection over the years. It's nothing too different, but this guy kind of stood out to me. This harkens back to pretty much, if you've ever remember, or old enough to remember, the very first edition of War Machine in the, I think it was mid-70s or 80s. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it came out with a kind of embossed cover. I've got one somewhere kicking around, but it's this is very much reminiscent of the cover itself. Pretty much absolutely spot on in terms of its look and design, the silver and the black and white. So a nice nod, I think, to the comic book version by the team at Hasbro. But a very cool figure. Again, here's the previous version it came in. This is the comic book version. My ultimate favourite, I think they've just added just the right amount of paint apps there, and I bought this also. I bought this from DarksideToys.com many years ago. Buy everything from there these days. But you can see it's an exact repaint, and just slight differences there in the colours of the explosion coming off the weapons and the missiles and so forth. So nice little touches, great looking little figure. So it's a pretty limited articulation guy, and this figure, because he's a little bit stiff in parts. Things can't move because of his armour, but otherwise he is articulated underneath. I'll take you through that in a minute. Now these firing missile components come off the top easily. They're just kind of jelly-like pieces that plug in to the War Machine aspect overall. And you'll see the same there. The lights working a really good job of hitting that and making it look good. But as you can see, that also plugs in. So you can have it displayed like that if you want. It's your call. It actually looks quite cool like that. So these armament pieces on the back, as you'll see, they can be moved down and be stored like so. So again, also very, very cool in terms of the display on them. Now he's a black colour with a bit of a speckled silver kind of smattering all over him. You can barely see it on camera, but it's not just solid black. There's a little bit of a sheen and a shine added to it. And underneath that solid silver there is really a very pearl essence kind of silver. So there's some nice aspects done to the paint. It's not quite as plain as you first think. A little bit of red there on the kind of a viewfinder up on the top of his head. But otherwise, a very, very cool figure. So articulation-wise, he does have a very limited head. It does not rock back and forth, so you've only got to move it. But as you can see there, I'm kind of jamming it against the side of his armour, so he's very limited in that way. These armament pieces here obviously move up and down and also spin round and round, so plenty of room there as well. There is a bit of a waist, you can see there. It's not a great deal of movement. Again, you can have, if you move it too far, you're basically breaking his back, as you can see. So it's really designed for pretty simple poses. There's not a great deal that you can do with it, but it's it does have a little bit of a posing capability in there. Now the 2 shoulder pieces up here, you can lift them up and you'll see underneath, hopefully, there's a joint there, ball joint hinge there, so you can move that around. The only problem is the armour can only go up and down, so it can't move side to side, so you're a little bit limited again in what you can do. Movement on the elbows, ball joint with a hinge there, and he does have swivel wrists. It's only single swivel, there's no double swivel as such. You'll see the thighs there have that ball joint with a hinge, a little bit stiff to move again, but it does work, trust me. And you've got a double joint at the knees in there, you can just see that there. And down at the ankles, a bit limited again because of the armour, but it's pretty movable, is a ball joint with a hinge on those ankles. So you do get a good articulated figure. He's just a little bit limited because of his armour, but he's a very cool looking piece, I think. War Machine, any incarnation of him is pretty awesome. So this is from the West Coast Avengers pack, as I said, and I'll put a link underneath where you can buy that at Darkside Toys. and some other places as well. But definitely check that one out. And they've got plenty of other loose figures. So if you don't want to collect all of these figures in this pack, which sometimes I just don't, I already have Hawkeye. So I just wanted to skip the rest of them and just pick this up. So definitely check them out. Let us know what you think. Comments below or on facebook.com/TekSushi, twitter.com/TekSushi, or you can find us on Google Plus under TekSushi. See you for more reviews soon. Cheers.